So we're back to the studio. Today we have reached our final episode of season 1, and we will be talking about the business of lighting and its aspects in interior fit-outs and exterior lighting. And for that, I have with me Dougall Harvison from Skyloom. Dougall, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We've been interviewing and having very nice chats with many businessmen from Dubai, like yourself. You're originally from Australia?
Correct. From the lovely Queensland, Gold Coast, Queensland.
Very good. And how long have you been in Dubai?
Coming up to, I've been here 18 years.
18 years.
Kids born here, family. This is home now.
Very good. And you have your own business in Dubai?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got Skyloom. Skyloom specialises in lighting consultancy, procurement, lighting controls, and also we do manufacturing of bespoke, custom-made light fixtures.
And how long have you had this business?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
So the first 5 that you were here in Dubai, you were working for another company?
Yeah, I worked for another company, which was an interior design architectural company. I was the general manager there.
Okay. So what was the trigger to start your own business? Was it an opportunity? Was it a desire?
Yeah, it was sort of like I saw an opportunity. I had some people I worked with within the interior design firm. They sort of asked me if I'd like to come on with them to be a director to help them because they just started up. So I came on as a director with them, and then within probably 1 year, I saw the opportunity and went, right, I'd like to be into this. So I just saw, an opportunity to become involved in something that was not quite so intangible or subjective, because design is very subjective to what you see as something is great, someone else will see as not.
Yeah, so you like the technological aspect of it, the equipment itself.
Yeah, it's not so much that. It's just basically, I suppose it'd be the technological part, but it's basically you're dealing with one element of a project rather than multiple facets.
Okay.
And within that one element, you can basically focus your attention, give your client, whether it's a direct with the end user, contractor, whoever it may be.
And all of a sudden you can become a supplier to your previous competitors.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So there is, channels there that you could take opportunities from. Yeah, certainly.
Very good. And are there many companies specialized just in lighting here in Dubai, like yourselves?
There'd be more than what you think. There's very different channels within it. There's basically like your B2C, like your customers, where you can walk into a showroom, buy a light or a chandelier or something like that. Then you've got within what I call our realm is B2C. So you're dealing with multinationals, with contractors, sometimes the end user, where we take it from concept or, initial thought right through until handover, delivery, and even some of my clients been servicing now for 10 years.
I'm curious to know your opinion about this this perception that I've always had. I've always felt that good lighting is probably the most cost-effective way of improving a space.
Absolutely. And it's not just because I'm in the lighting industry, I'm going to say what I want you to hear. But like, for instance, even within the studio here, if you had the wrong lighting, it affects your mood, it affects the actual atmosphere. A big scenario would basically be restaurants, which we predominantly do. And if you walk into a restaurant that is highly lit, wrong lighting, you feel out of place. Most of the time when you feel calm or the atmosphere is right is when the lighting itself is accentuating certain areas. And again, it comes down to a perception, but lighting plays a major part, even in retail, in the way of how you see garments hanging on shelves, the food that you see in the local supermarket, the reds, the greens, the yellows, they really play a part in the decisions that you make.
I've always felt like if you want to get into the business, for instance, of flipping houses,
Yep.
if you grab a house that is already in good condition and you ramp up the lighting, not only at night on the outside but also inside, it makes such a big difference. The people will come in and they will feel cozy, right?
Yes. If you ramp up the lighting, it's basically the right selection of lighting as well, because you've got very different things. Like you've got what we call in industry, you've got warm white, cool white. Warm white is more towards the amber colour that everyone sees, and cool white is what you'll primarily see within offices.
Yeah.
So within your housing, residential, you want something that is warm, feel like you're home. End of the day, biometric rhythm of a person changes throughout the day, and warm light makes you feel, calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
But more importantly, is the ability to control the lights.
Yeah.
Set moods.
That's true. In fact, like in my own houses, in my spaces, I always like to have warm and low lighting.
Yep.
But then I like to have also white and bright from the top in case a kid breaks a glass or something. I flick a switch and it becomes a functional space.
Yep.
It's not about comfort that moment. It's about an emergency or something.
One of the things like within my industry is I think anyone can buy a light, put a light in, and it'll be there. It'll turn on, it'll turn off. The real thing is basically the intelligence. Now, it's not necessarily our intelligence, but knowing what the light's capable of, because dimming-wise, does it go all the way down, like especially with LED these days, without flickering or turning off, setting it, because everything within, like especially big environments, like some of the largest restaurants, it's all scene set. And it goes through a timing, and throughout the day, it will just go through. No one has to touch anything. So it's set to an astrological clock. 15 minutes before sunset, it starts slowly going down. And if you're sitting in the restaurant, 15 minutes later, you'll turn around and go, I didn't feel the lights come down. It's not a bang, bang.
That's cool. That's cool. And talking about restaurants,
Yep.
I have a feeling that business must be booming, because like there are new restaurants opening pretty much every week in Dubai, all over the town, and a lot of them are probably closing at the same speed. So
there is that.
Do you get to come and redo the same space over and over again?
There is one space in downtown which we have done 4 times.
Wow. In how many years?
12 years. 12 years. We've done the same space 4 times, different concepts each time.
But is it always the same client, or the clients change?
Different clients and so on.
Okay, and how do you manage always to retain the space?
By chance, really. Most of the time, it's set contractors that can only really work within these spaces, and so we work with them. But you're right. There's a lot of restaurants opening. We primarily deal with a lot that go into, not the high end, but going into malls, going into some of the bigger towers, some of the big names that you'd probably hear around the world and all that. Those ones are doing well. They identify the spaces, have the proper people on board and design. But they're not immune to closing down because, there's always pressure.
Competition is incredible.
Competition is incredible. Like we've done a very big place in DIFC over 3 floors. And I sit there to myself and think, not so much how can they make money, but where's all the people coming from? Obviously, DIFC's got a lot of people during the day, but I've been there overnight time, and it's the environment, what you're coming back to, the environment, how it makes feel. The design is outstanding.
Yeah. No, the IFC, I think it's become a destination for the amount of choice that they have these days, and also the quality. Like you've got some of the best restaurants out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So back in the day, it was more of an office space. You have some lunch, maybe you have a drink after work or something like this, or a little bite, and then you go home early. But now it is a destination.
It's a lifestyle destination. That's what they're trying to turn it into.
Yeah. No, but and a very good one, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So tell me about the different verticals that you have. Obviously, restaurants. I know for a fact that you've done like really cool spaces and whatever. But is that your bread and butter, or?
It used to be, like, I'd probably say up until about 5 years ago, coinciding with obviously what happened 5 years ago with the pandemic. We were doing probably 80% were restaurants, and the rest would be offices and miscellaneous bits and pieces. With COVID and all that sort of thing, Dubai became a destination for people to live, or you're staying at home.
Yeah.
So villas over the past few years have become people wanting to stay, wanting to live here. So they're no longer moving in and just putting up with what they bought. They're now, in some cases, buying the plot, demolishing the house, rebuilding something that they want. That's really gone up. And beach clubs.
There's been an explosion of those also.
Booming at the moment, especially with what's gone down at Le Maire.
Yeah.
I think there's 13 or 14 beach clubs down there.
And a bunch of new restaurants also.
Yep.
Like super fine dining.
Absolutely.
Some of the best names in the world are opening there.
We were fortunate enough out of the 14 to design and supply 8.
Wow.
Down there. So, yeah.
That is not a bad stat.
It's not a bad stat. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Congratulations.
If I went to every one of those, if I went to every one of those beach clubs or restaurants that have done, I'd be a very big person.
Well, you're not small.
Well, bigger.
Very good. So, how big has the business become? How many people do you have working at the moment?
We have 20. They're ranging from everything from designers, people in my warehouse, site team. There's other elements to the business as well, installation, we do fabrication, but within Skyloom itself, there's 20.
So I know that in the events industry, for instance, lighting designers are like rock stars. Is it the same thing in your business?
Oh, look, it's a little bit different with what you were doing, the rock stars, because they're doing a show.
Yeah.
We're much more static.
Yeah.
And so not quite the rock stars, but we like to think that what we do, even though it plays a small part in it, we contribute a massive amount to the outcome. Yeah.
Because it's something very visual, and you do need to have a certain touch, a certain sensibility to be able to imagine what it's going to look like once it's all installed.
I always say that lighting is a bit of a dark art. Because what you think you're designing and what you get can be two very different things. And again, it comes down to perception. What you see as absolutely wonderful, someone else will see it in a different vein. It's like art.
But that's interesting. It's exactly like art, because if you ask a painter, all they talk about is light.
Yep.
Is the light.
Light gives you shadow. Light gives you depth.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So going back to the villas, you've touched on a subject that we've discussed widely here with other guests. The refurbishments of mega villas in Dubai at the moment is like off the charts.
Yes.
Number one, there is a huge number of them.
Yes.
Number two, a lot of them were built in large quantities, and a lot of the mentality of the people that buy them, they think this is all shell and core. I'm going to rip everything out and do it my own way.
Yes.
And also a lot of them are now reaching an age where they need a little bit of care, right? So this must be creating fantastic opportunities. And the people that have come to Dubai that are very knowledgeable, they have big budgets, like this last few years, it's been off the hook. Tell us about your experience in that field.
Look, in my experience, there's two parts to it. There is very much the refurbishment part of what I consider to be the big villas in the big places, Emirates Hills, Bulgaria Island or Jumeirah Bay. They're new. Emirates Hill in particular, there's quite a few there that they bought the plot because they were built, let's say 20 years ago now. Some of them are now being bought, knocked down, building exactly. And we're doing that on 4 in that area.
Nice.
Places like Al Barari, we're doing a few villas there, but that's all new build.
Anything in Jumeirah Gulf Estates.
Jumeirah Gulf Estates, because that's relatively new, the people are doing minor renovations. They're not necessarily doing major knockdowns and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sort of like the people that are coming into, especially in Emirates Hills and those ones there, are coming in to buy it, one, to live in for a long period of time, two, as an investment. A couple of our people that we work with, like they're doing ones on the Palm and in Dougall Hills, they're buying the land, building the villa as an investment, and most of the time they've sold them before they're finished.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good thing to be in.
Yeah, not a bad way to
Yeah,
to live. So, tell me about a little bit of like the whole spectrum of the services you do, like the whole life cycle. So you come in initially as a consultant,
Yep.
and then what happens after?
We come in as a consultant in basically two different ways. One is basically a paid consultant where we sit on the client side with the ID architectural firms, and they're our client, and we give them all the services that they need to fulfill their scope of work. The other ones is basically sitting with the contractors where we sit with them. They've been given a budget, they've got to design something, so a little bit like design and build. So that's like the first part. Then the next part is the procurement side of it. It can be basically on our projects that we've designed, or contractors or clients come to us and say, hey, we've got this, can you please price it using the specification? Then there's lighting controls, like designing and making the lighting control systems, the lighting control panels, commissioning. Then there's also, which is something that we're doing a lot of now, which sets us apart, is the design and manufacture of decorative custom-made fixtures. Not much of that happens in the UAE here, because manufacturing of that type of lighting is not...
Like festive lighting?
Not festive lighting, like basically chandeliers, decorative pendants, stuff like that. We've just done a big installation that is like 6 10-meter drops going into ICD tower for a restaurant. They took 4 months to manufacture. Pretty impressive. That's just one thing.
Amazing.
And then also it's the site work. Like we do the installation, and we also do the maintenance. Like we get callbacks all the time, because like within lighting, these days it doesn't happen so much. The lights, the lamps themselves will go out, or the power supplies, or because everything's done by computer now, there might be a glitch in the system. So we have that technical site support.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool. So a lot of these services that you do, you could actually do it for anywhere in the world. Are you just focused in the Dubai market?
We like at this point in time, we're doing a restaurant in Singapore. Can't say which one it is. Same client in London.
Nice.
We've done 2 in London. We've done 2 restaurants in Washington, DC. We've done other stuff in London. We've done a resort in Benin.
Wow.
So it's very transposable. It can go everywhere, and a lot of our clients come from everywhere.
Did you have the feeling that it might get to this point when you started, or you thought you were going to have a Dubai-based business and you were going to cater for this market only?
The consultancy is easy to transpose to everywhere.
Yeah.
When you come to the procurement side of it, that's a little bit different. We sort of like try to keep it GCC focused. However, the ones in Washington, DC, we did do all the supply because the client trusted us. But in saying that, some clients do come to us now with our decorative and say, can you make this for us? We're sending some stuff to Canada that we're manufacturing. So you manufacture here? Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the point of difference with us. We try to do as much of the manufacturing here as possible. There is components here, especially with glassware, that there's just not the glassware manufacturers here. If you want a piece of glass for your side of your building, lots of that, but not, how would you say, artisan style glass and crystals and all that. So we do order those sort of components.
There's a big push from the local governments for manufacturing in the UAE, right?
Yep, there is, and we don't do a lot of government work, but I know the governments try to use businesses that are here. They want to see what their supply chain is, how much of it is done here locally. So we're trying to get ourselves more into that market, not because of what the government wants, but we just find that we have greater control.
And do you distribute also like products from other sources, or?
We're not a distributor because being a consultant, we don't like to be like, how would you say, an agent or a representative for a brand. That means you're sort of like pushing that brand. We like to be impartial. We work with all the manufacturers, as many as possible. So that way we can also have the ability, this may not work for the client. We've got this alternative, because big things is always the cost. How much is it going to cost in the end? Design-wise, if you're told no budget and it goes on all design elements, you will design to the best possible standard, but that may exceed the client's budget.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen, right?
It always happens.
It always happens that you get like an amazing briefing, you work on it, and then clients have a notion of how much it costs, and they go like,
exactly right. It's sort of like, but we're mindful of that because we work with so many different manufacturers. We know what things cost. We know the different thresholds and levels, and it's also being able to read the client.
Yeah.
Where are they going into? What are they actually after? Are they really going to spend this much on their lighting? It's an expectation.
And do you get a lot of like creative freedom when it comes to do the best you can and don't worry about price? Does that or is that only in your dreams?
Not really. Not really. It happens a lot when it comes to offices and all that. I look at offices in the way that they're semi-creative, but predominantly it's downlights, linear lights, and so on. When it comes to the villas and restaurant, yes, we've got some ability to be very creative and all that. But most of the time, when it comes to the decoratives, it's working with the designers, because they've got they're very clear about what they want.
Yeah, and I think it's such a key aspect, because what we were saying about restaurants in Dubai, there are so many.
Yes.
And it's almost guaranteed that the food's going to be good.
Yes.
So people now, because a lot of the decision making is based on social media, they go more by how it looks, and how easy it's going to be to get there, to get the nice table and whatever, than the food itself. And I know that probably the chefs will kill me if they hear me say this, but the chefs know how competitive it is out there. And if your space is not spectacular, then
the chefs even have a big say in what the restaurant looks like.
Yeah,
because it's their food on show on the table.
It's part of the experience. Yeah. No, that's very cool. And tell me, in terms of like technology. Was the LED revolution the latest big breakthrough, or there's other things that are equally as
I'd probably say there hasn't been anything like in evolutionary steps of lighting. Yes, LED has been the latest big thing. From when Thomas Edison came up with incandescent lamp to where we are now. The only other real things that, in my opinion, that have changed is the ability of what I consider smart lighting in the way of controllability. The light itself is not intelligent. It's the other programming or drivers, power supplies behind it that tell them what to do. So that's where it's really started to take off in that regards.
So is it going into like a lot of use of sensors and
sensors, understanding algorithms, like there's lighting control systems that pick up how you walk through spaces and all that, start turning lights on. Lighting, especially with the northern hemisphere, like up in the Scandinavian countries, because they get reduced lighting, it's make sure they've got enough light in on the workspaces and so on like that.
So probably the biggest breakthrough after the LED is probably artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And to the way this whole thing starts operating itself.
Look, yeah, absolutely. Artificial intelligence, I know with some people it becomes either be scared of it or embrace it or be ambivalent to it.
It's been there for a lot longer than people imagine.
Absolutely.
It was not just as much computer power behind it, but the traffic lights have been running on artificial intelligence for a good 30 years.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I was always not skeptical, probably fearful of it because I didn't know anything about it. But in just recently, I've seen some developments in the design industry, not particular to lighting, but just in the design way of how things have done. And I was so impressed that I thought I've got to get on board and actually invested in an AI company specializing in design.
I think that you are actually in a business that can make up for the ever-growing use of artificial intelligence, because now people have already started talking about age to age, human to human, and you're about creating spaces where humans come together and they enjoy, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So that's quite cool.
It's sort of like with the AI, with the design, people say fearful of losing jobs, but I firmly believe within the design industry, you need that creative touch. It's not basically removing away a designer. It's basically making their life easier and quicker and more, billable time versus time spent.
Yeah.
Less time doing this, more time doing probably the things they enjoy, how it looks, the interpretation, rather than drawing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what about like growth? Or development? Or what's the direction that you're kind of like looking, thinking? Do I go? Do I not go?
With the parts and with the manufacturing that we're doing, it's opening us up to a few different areas, and it's not necessarily to do with lighting. It's just other areas within transposable skills. So the growth within us as Skyloom, it's probably more to do with, there's always the lighting industry, there's always the lighting controls. It's what else we can do. And I've got a few things that people have come to us because of the service we provide. It's not just about we can do it, it's the after sales. And that's what I consider the biggest thing. People talk about the clients, the sales, how you get it, customer service. My big thing is after sales service. Once it's in, being able to help the client and solve problems.
Yeah.
That's the say to all my team. Problems will always happen.
Yeah.
That is inevitable. It's trying to get in front of those problems, and when they do happen, solving the problem without throwing your hands in the air and going, I don't know, or it's someone else's fault.
Yeah. So is client retention a big thing in your business? Do you have like recurrent clients that have been with you for a long time?
Yes, we have quite a few, and that's what actually we focus on.
Yeah.
I'd probably say from a marketing point of view from us, we're not, how would you say, out there a lot on social media. We're not popping a heads up everywhere, and we're more, and it might sound as if a little bit arrogant. Building. We sit back. If you want to work with us, you'll work with us. And word of mouth and recommendation. And I enjoy that because it gives us organic growth.
Yeah.
Rather than a big spike, then you've got to think about all your staffing. Are you going to deliver right? It's more organic. But our clients, I'd probably say 60% to 70% of our clients are return multiple times.
Very good.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we aim to do here in the show is to become an incentive for people to take that step of starting their own business and to do it here in Dubai, basically. So what would be the one advice that you give, like generic, to someone that is either still working for a corporation, is thinking of giving that step and starting their own business, or someone that owns a business in another country and is thinking of entering this market? Just what would be kind of like a couple of...
My thing is, if you're working for someone now and starting up your own business, is relationships. No, because here in the UAE, it still is a very transient place. People come and go. People that we're working with in one position will either move to a different country or move to a different company. So it's the relationship. And if you're going to start up something new in your first 1 or 2 years, those relationships will get you going. They will use you and everything to give you, everyone wants to be nice and help. So it's those relationships. After the 2 years, you're on your own.
Yeah.
If you haven't performed or you're not doing what you're doing, you won't get any more. So that's when most people, after 2 years, really struggle.
You can't just rely on being a nice guy.
Yeah. For someone coming out here from an existing company somewhere else, is finding someone on the ground here, lay of the land, either partnering up, employing someone. Sometimes can be difficult because when setting up the company, general manager, they're in control. But I'd probably say in the first part is partner up with someone that's out here that's like-minded.
Local knowledge.
Doesn't have to be in the same industry as you.
Yeah,
It's almost
correct.
like as if having another director sitting across from you and they've got their interest. Obviously, there's something in it for them, something for you. So partner with someone. That would be my thing.
Yeah.
And especially if you're an SME. You know, if you're these multinational,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can do whatever you want, really.
Come by one of
Send a whole team out and off you go.
Yeah.
But if you're an SME and you haven't got the massive amount of budget to go and do what you want to do, it is partnering up.
Yeah, and you don't have the reputation. You don't have people don't know you basically.
That's exactly right.
And how many people have we seen coming and going?
Oh, look,
How many meetings in a cafe somewhere has everyone had in this town?
Look, and you walk out of it high. Right, this is going to come through. 6 months later, nothing's happened. It's become a dead project.
You don't hear about the guy anymore.
You don't hear from they've left the country.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Someone that's been here, reputable, that you can partner with.
Yeah, I think it's one of the characteristics of Dubai, that it's such a dynamic place.
Mm-hmm.
It's cutting edge in everything it does, but at the same time, it's very traditional, it's very small and very familiar. So you do need to combine those things. You can't come here from a big city in the world, from a big market, and thinking that you're going to be like a cutthroat type of businessman that is going to come and knock everyone out of the park, because people won't let you in.
And how many times have we seen that here?
Yeah, many times.
Lots of times. I still have a very vivid memory of like just after the economic crash in 2008.
Yeah.
All these people that came here had grand ideas, best intentions, and what happened? Sometimes things are out of your control.
Yeah.
On the macro. You're here.
That's
Everything's
true.
happening up there, and it just trickles down.
That's true. Those were very interesting times.
Oh, it was absolutely.
Doug, I'll have one final question for you, and let's see if we put some of the people in the team on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the lighting here in the studio?
Oh, look. As I said earlier, I don't have a shine on my head, so it looks great. It's fit for purpose, and studios is not my thing, so I'll have to say you've done a great job.
Well, I can't take credit, but I'll pass on the message.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. It's
Pleasure.
been lots of fun, and I wish you all the best personally and for your business. I hope it continues to thrive. And I'm very proud of the fact that it's a success story that is starting in Dubai and growing a little bit everywhere overseas. So that's amazing to see.
Thank you very much.
That's
Jojo.
what we like to see.
No, it's great. And
Thank you.
I'm happy as well.
Thank
Thank
you
you very much.
So we've come to an end of the last episodes of the first season of the Dubai Business Classics. And I hope you have enjoyed every episode as much as I did. I've had lots of fun, and I'm hoping that there's enough interest from all you guys so that we get the motivation to start another season very soon. Thank you very much, everyone.